the Brain, episode 3. I've got a few different items to talk to you all about today. I am going to do what I believe is the world's first reboxing video. I love unboxing videos, but what I think is so unique about the Decent Espresso Machine is that you're able to rebox it. You can use that for a variety of functions. I've seen people that have had to make custom boxes to use their La Marzocco Linea Mini for catering experience, for purposes of maintenance. It's able to be reboxed and sent back to Decent if it ever needed to be. Hopefully it won't. But we can look at how easy it is to do this. I think that's interesting. You'll also get a look at the packaging. Let's start by talking a little bit about what kind of things I'm drinking though first, and then we'll get into the reboxing experience. All right, so I wanted to talk about where I order coffee from a little bit, and then talk a little bit about some of those coffees. Also want to give shout outs because I love doing that to help people find other people in the coffee community that I have stumbled onto at one time or another. So first of all, I want to talk about 8-ounce coffee. And if you've never heard of them, they are from Canada, but for the conversion rate and how quickly they ship, I think that they're worth checking out. They've also got Luna, which is one of my favorite roasters, although I'm not drinking them right now. I think that it's worth, checking out. They have a huge variety of equipment and roasters, and they're just really interesting company to just check out some Canadian brands and check out especially Luna coffee. So I got Rabbit Hole roasters from them, and I think that Rabbit Hole roasters have consistently been one of the better brands that I've had a chance to drink. It's Kenya season. I would highly recommend if you like fruity floral coffees, you want to experience something different this time of year. Kenyans or African coffees are excellent. I think Kenyans are my favorite, just the crispness, the lightness to them. When it's so hot outside, you might not think about coffee, but when it tastes like this, you can drink it year round. And Rabbit Hole are one of those companies that are doing it right. And really enjoy their coffees. I have not been disappointed. I did order them from 8-ounce coffee, so I wanted to give both a shout out there. The second one, you might have heard me say if you've watched the other videos on the Breville dual boiler, or my first video talking about the DF64 and the modifications I made, talking about Lance Hedrick and some of the ideas I got. He's been drinking this coffee. It's again a washed Kenyan coffee. Excellent. My wife, who has one of the better palates, even though she sometimes puts cream in her, often puts cream in her coffee, she can absolutely taste the sweetness, and I so love that about people who are not quite as into coffee as me, but who love to drink coffee. That's what the coffee community is ultimately about. There's the nerds that are making videos and talking about the beans, and then there are the people that really just enjoy coffee, and she's one of those people, and she introduced it to me, and she loved this coffee, as did I. Lance Hedrick introduced this to me. I got it from my dad for Father's Day. It was a fellow drop. They may still have some on their website. I'll leave those links, but if not, it was a company that had a fire that burned down their roastery, so they've been trying to get back up on their feet as a small business owner. I appreciate being able to help out another business in that way as well. I'll take a look at their website really quickly, and let me see if they've still got it. There it is, still on their website, available right here, so you can still pick it up from their website. So I'll leave that link if you're interested in picking up some beans. Definitely check them out. The last one I got from Brian Kwan. He was giving shout outs, and I'll talk about two of the other roasters because he hooked me in doing something like this, talking about different roasteries. And this one's in Indiana, and I love you probably have a hard time seeing it, but I'll zoom in on the bag, or leave it in there, a link in there. But SW Roasting, they're in Coatesville, Indiana. I was dying because I had to, of course, look up Coatesville, and it's known for in the middle of nowhere here in Indiana, and it's known for a gas station. It had one of the first Standard Oil gas stations. So I think like 525 people live in that town. Incredible. I was really excited for that company to get a shout out. Their website and packaging, you'll see their website here, is really just kind of old school. Looks like an old school just nothing fancy about it. But what Brian said about them is true. You get a pound of coffee for $16.35. I know we want to forward the coffee to some of these are a little bit more expensive, but I think that you can also find value sometimes. And in the smaller roasteries who maybe don't spend as much money on packaging or advertising or being a part of different services, they're getting the word out there in different ways. They're able to pass some of that value on to the consumer. Their decaf is really excellent, so would highly recommend checking them out, and love the simplicity of their website. They've also got kind of just funny little, when in their write-ups, sometimes people try to get too cute, but they do a good job in their write-ups as well. All right, we got to get to the reboxing here. So this is what the Decent comes in. So it's coming in a box, and I recommend that you keep the box, and they do too, when you buy one of these espresso machines. But I certainly think that other companies should at least think about this model. We talk about Apple and right to repair. One of the things that you need sometimes is to be able to send a machine in to resell it. I think that Apple's boxes, often I keep them because I can repackage them in that box, put it in a UPS box, and it preserves some of the value of the item by being able to resell it in a box that's secure and looks nice. And of course, this is just sort of the standard shipping box. But what's great is that then you have the suitcase that it comes in, and yes, that is a suitcase with the wheels and all. And I think that's so unique about this espresso machine. And you can see the inside of it as well. And I'll show you. We'll go through all this, but again, it's got the specific foam cutouts for you to be able to place everything precisely, and it's that really dense foam. So that it's going to be secure in there, and that you can take it around with you. The machine itself has also considered the possibility that it'll be transported again, in that it has a mode that you can put it into, and I'll do a little video of that as well, where I can show you how to put it into transport mode, essentially. So we'll get to that, and I appreciate everybody that's listened so far. Give me just a moment. All right, before we get to the reboxing, the world's first reboxing, remember, I've got a couple other things I wanted to show just about taking this machine apart, and I think it's worth noting. So the first one you'll see here is the video of the shipping or packing mode. Your espresso machine actually gets rid of all the water inside of it, sends it into the water reservoir tank, and tells you when it's ready to go. Pretty cool. One thing I don't love, but I do love about Decent, so there's a love and not love part. So this version of the machine has the tablet stand screwed to the top, and this has been the default until the most recent iteration. What I do love is that Decent continues to iterate. I think that if I was using this for catering, I would likely just leave the tablet stand detached and set it to the side for occasional calibration, because in that setting, I'm probably not going to do the experimentation I do at home. I'm going to use maybe one or at max 2 different, profiles. And I think it could be pretty easy to switch between those if I just have the tablet somewhere. It's Bluetooth activated. The charge will last, so you could have it somewhere else just laying on the table or sitting on the table. Don't have to have it attached to the machine. And if I'm transporting it a couple times in a day or more frequently, I would either have the newest machine that has the tablet stand that slides directly into the body of it, or just keep it detached for the times that I'm using it during catering. You can see that taking out those screws, because of the angle of it, it's a little bit awkward. It wasn't super easy. They have their own tool that they send with you, so maybe my Allen wrench wasn't the best one to use, but you get the idea. Just a moment, and I will take us to the reboxing. Are you ready for the world's first reboxing video? I'm not either. Okay, so I've got the case open. Again, what I think is cool about this machine is and I'll share just some initial thoughts. I've had it for about a month now. And I think what is so amazing about it is the level of experimentation, the level of thought and innovation that they put into every part, including the packaging. I think that makes it special and a worthwhile competitor if you're a super nerd like me. So first things first, tablet. I've never been an Android person before. Everything's been Apple. They don't do an Apple app. You have to use an Android tablet. You can use any tablet with Android tablet with it, but it's got to be Android. I actually have not minded the experience. I think that for this type of community, where they're innovating and iterating, and the people that are using the machine are interested in tinkering, Android makes a lot of sense. Apple, from my perspective, presents as a finished product, or as close to that experience as you can get within the technology sphere. This is not that. You can customize your skins. You can go in and make adjustments. And the purpose of that is for the community to innovate and give them ideas and to make the machine better as it goes along. So maybe they'll get to a point where it is more consumer oriented or more basic, but that's not where they're at right now. Next 2 parts, you've got your portafilter. Quality is very nice. Wood handles. I will say that I've never had an espresso machine before, or one with wooden handles. The Breville dual boiler I had some kind of polymer handle. I did nick the handle already, so not a huge deal. I mean, that's going to come with anything that you're using frequently on a daily basis, especially early in the morning before you've had coffee. So that slides right into there. This now, some people change this and put a different a different kind of thing, but this goes in the front of it to kind of help you lock the portafilter into place. Not necessary. I actually find it most useful to guide where my hand goes for steaming milk. So I've kept it, but there are little add-ons that you can buy if you don't like that and want to see that go elsewhere. The water tank I've mostly found is a good capacity. You do have to refill it. I don't know why there's not a lid for it. I have found that I definitely keep up and wash it weekly because it gets dust and sometimes little particles in it. So I don't love that about it, but you should be washing that pretty frequently, I think, anyways. Maybe the others kind of get you away from that. Maybe that's not a good thing. But volume-wise for home, plenty good. I can make lots of espresso, steam milk, even make some longer allonges, and still have plenty in there to keep it going. And if you want to do this, you got to get it right. That's the great part about it, is that it does fit perfectly. So you got to get it in there just so. The drip tray I found is again, they're both made of ceramic, which has an interesting weight to it and are definitely breakable. So you need to watch out for that. But the quality feels there. I actually really like the drip tray. The one on the Breville dual boiler, I didn't love as much, but I've really found that this, graded pattern works really well, easy to clean. It seems perfectly fine for what it is. Okay, the moment of truth. So there is this. This will be where you put sort of your accessories. I've got you can pop out the portafilter. I've got the plug over here. You can stick that in here, but this actually kind of sits in the guts of the espresso machine. So I'll show you that process, and that'll be it. I think that the thing that I most have been enjoying about the Decent Espresso Machine, and I'll do a longer sit down at some point, but wanted to just show this while I still had the box out, is that there is that desire, that thoughtfulness to tinker and to experiment, and whether it is the different profiles for the espresso, the ability to change the milk or the steam pressure to whatever you want to make pour overs with it. I just think that the ability to have a transformer on your countertop for your coffee is pretty neat. And if you're in this space and at this sort of level of nerdiness, this is definitely a worthwhile competitor to anything that's out there.